Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon, and today I have a very unique video. So today we're going to be interviewing Starting All Over, who is a player who has been rank 1 many, many times in Wild Rift. He was a pro player for Immortals at a point, Sentinels, a bunch of other teams. And we're going to be reviewing, actually, with him, 2 of his games in a tournament that happened yesterday or 2 days ago, I think at this point, maybe 3 by the time you're seeing it. But basically, this was an $1,000 tournament in North America that they ended up winning. We're going to go over some of the upper bracket finals games. So not the finals themselves, but the upper bracket finals, because they're more interesting in my opinion. I'm going to start making some more videos on some of these tournaments. I'm going to link in the description the Discord server that runs these tournaments. They're going to be running them, I think, once a month. So if you're interested in joining or getting more information about where to watch, whatever, I'll be live streaming a lot of this. Again, you can watch the VOD of me casting it with Rafa, who was an LCS caster at a point, so it's pretty cool if you're wanting to watch just the full games. There's a lot of interesting games there. But we're going to be interviewing Starting. He's going to be explaining to you guys, going through VOD reviewing these 2 games, giving you a bunch of information on how to climb in solo queue, the things that make their team so good as a 5-man, the differences between, 5-man and solo queue. And I really enjoy specifically talking to him about his mindset around the game. Like, he thinks about the game in a different way than me in some ways, and I think it'll be really interesting. So this is, in my opinion, one of the coolest videos I've ever had, getting to talk to such a good player like this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right into it. And then also, if you're interested in checking out Starting, he has a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, which he shouts out at the end, but it's Starting All Over. I'm going to link the Twitch and YouTube if you're interested. I'm just going to, I'll start recording. So I'll do like the intro after, so we can just go right into it.
Okay.
Do you want me to like skip through the draft, or you want to go through like each pick, or?
So I actually do you have any questions about our draft? Because prior to this, I actually studied the way they drafted versus some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say I prepared draft like for like about an hour before our game.
Yeah.
The day before our game, actually. So what I noticed is that every single time they played, they perma banned Zillion Bard. And
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed that, Nick Schusternick, he's very good on Gragas
Yeah.
and Nautilus, right? So we try to ban those engaged champs. So we end up banning those. And the Camille, we end up banning because we did not want the Nidalee first pick. And every single time we take Nidalee, or every single time they'd like to take Nidalee, they like to go Camille Nidalee. And Camille
Okay.
goes in the mid lane. And we had the Lucian or Lissandra prior first pick with Lucian Nami. So that is what we wanted in this draft. And I actually have a screenshot of our draft preparation of them going Gwen Ezreal because they never want to give Ezreal on our team.
They never
And
wanted to
Jackie
give you
likes
guys
playing
Ezreal.
Ezreal Jhin. I think it's because Jackie likes playing it for himself as well, since like I think certain ADC champs are not as strong. Like Varus, he used to be really good at Varus, for
Yeah.
example. Kaisa, Tristana, but those are like weaker now. So I think he really likes Ezreal Lucian. But I don't think they'll play Lucian Nami because Schuster Nick does not play Nami. So
Yeah.
that's how I thought about the draft.
So you kind of knew you'd get Lucian Nami for free, and you were just fine with him taking Ezreal. Like, you just thought the matchup's fine for you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And then like something I noticed too is like it seems like you guys draft like a bunch of. I mean, you did this exact same draft except you took Nocturne in the finals instead of Hecarim. Like when you see the full draft,
Yeah,
it seems like
we had
yeah.
the exact same draft.
And it seems like you guys really like this because I mean, because you're gonna go Renekton later as well, and like you have Prio on both side lanes, you have winning matchups both times, and then Lissandra can just move wherever, and Hecarim's also a champion that can move wherever, so it feels like it's really easy, where you basically can just go to any lane, and there's gonna be winning lane. You're gonna have Prio in literally every lane and be able to make plays. Because the only problem that, or like the only like question I had with your draft initially was like your only AP was Lissandra, and they have multiple tanks. They can kind of stack a lot of armor. But I guess it wouldn't really matter if you guys are just stomping early game. Like, is that the thought process, or was that ever like a concern with your draft?
The AP, the way I thought about AP draft is as long as you have one, it's not really a problem. Like Lissandra is
Mm-hmm.
not too much of a problem for AP, but it's not like you're picking Lissandra mainly for damage. And if I'm playing Lissandra, I'm not gonna really focus their tanks. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to get the Ezreal or like CC, and the damage doesn't really matter. I would say if it doesn't get too later in the game. And I think even too later in the game, this Lucian Nami 5 crit Lucian item still deletes any tanks,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That makes
He's,
sense.
he's really strong.
And then your bans after you go Xin ban.
Xin banned because I thought their jungler, like I said, I studied their draft.
Yeah.
I think he only plays Fiora, Xin Zhao, Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, like those stuff, and Fiora, right? I don't know if I mentioned that.
Mhm.
Those four champions, and I think my team does not want to play against Xin Zhao. If we were to pick versus like I think we banned Jax here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this makes sense because Lucian versus Xin Zhao, Jax, like these two champs are really good versus the next three picks we're gonna pick, or the next two picks for
Yeah,
my jungler
Renekton
and my
definitely
top laner.
struggles into Jax like the later the game goes on. Like if you don't win early. So
It's more for engage because right now with that comp they don't really have a way to go in besides Ornn.
yeah. And then yeah, I mean from here just Nunu, you pick Renekton, Hecarim. Any thoughts on that? Or I think it's pretty straightforward at this point.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So I had this exact one prepared. We could have also went Nocturne here.
Yeah.
I asked Valhalla. It's up to him which one he liked better. And
Mhm.
I for my team, I prepare them, or I prefer they play what's comfortable more
Yeah.
than what's stronger. For example,
Yeah,
like, do
that's
I
something
think
I was
Lissandra
curious
is the
about.
best pick? I don't think Lissandra is the best champion in the game,
Mhm.
but I know how to play with her. It's a really comfort pick.
Yeah, so you value comfort a lot, definitely. That makes sense.
I definitely do because in high stakes game, I feel like you being comfortable on a champ versus when a champ is stronger, it's I don't know how to say it, but it's like I prefer one tricks over people who think they can play like 10 champions at a time.
Yeah, no, that's something I'm always trying to tell my viewers just for climbing is like play 1 to 3 champions max. Like you shouldn't play more. And even in competitive, I mean, there's
Yeah,
like even in pro play League of Legends, like Ben was like a pro player in last year, and he played like top laners the entire year, and he was literally like the best top player in the world. I mean, even in the
and
highest level of gameplay.
that's completely fine. It's not like,
Yeah,
I cannot play other champs, but it works so well. So
yeah,
why
and you
would I
learn all
not
the
pick it?
matchups where you don't have to learn a million matchups for a million different champions. A lot more straightforward. So makes
And
sense.
for the runes this game, I remember I did go ROA this game,
Yeah, yeah, that
on
was something I was
Lissandra.
curious about. Yeah,
But I usually just go the normal build, Infinity Orb, Soul
yeah,
Stealer, Death Cap. But this game, ROA is really good versus tanks, and I was kind of greedy, and I should have went Gathering Storm, Giant Slayer this game, but I
yeah.
just went my normal runes, and then I was like in the game during the game as I was playing, I was like, oh, they're really tanky. So I just went Rod of Ages for
There's
this
something
game.
I also had a question about. Like, it looks like every game or a lot of games, like Renekton is always just pushing and then like immediately going. Like he goes on to their Raptors here, I think, and like he even level 2 ganked in the finals. Like, is like that a very common thing you guys are aware of? Or do you just kind of like let Lamont do what he wants? Or
He just kind of does it to be annoying. I do it sometimes too if my lane is good, and we try to get as much camps as possible, sneak in as much gold as possible, and then
yeah,
these like slow gold leads that we slowly build up are from those small little things. If we deny a minion, like this Gume is playing like he's trying to deny a CS or two,
yeah.
it's just those small leads that eventually will build up.
And so is that like your only goal in lane? I'm assuming you're not thinking you're going to be solo killing, high level players over and over. Is it just like get small leads, have prio, and like eventually, usually you guys create like a 4-man dive somewhere or something once you get mid and
A
jungle
lot of
moving? Like
Yeah, so me and Valhalla actually do not talk, or none of my teammates talk,
you're
actually.
just silent? Really?
Yeah, they're completely silent. I actually talked this game. I think Valhalla was unmuted for this game, but
Mm,
that is his first time being unmuted. Um, if you pause around this area, if you
yeah.
looked at mid, um,
Yeah, I can't really
the way
scroll
I
unfortunately,
yeah,
but
it's okay.
yeah.
But the way I usually play around these waves is when you see after the jungler finish all camps, right? He's
Yeah.
pathing to bot. He's gonna go to Scuttle right now, maybe bot gank.
Mm-hmm.
From my POV, whenever Valhalla does any full clear, whichever side,
Yeah.
I always make sure, no matter how bad my matchup is, the lane will be even or I have priority,
Yeah.
no
So he
matter
can do whatever he
how
wants
bad it is.
basically.
So yeah, he can go do whatever place he wants without being, oh, this Gwen's gonna, come to me, or I want them to have as much free roam or do whatever the hell they want without
Yeah.
having to worry about my lane.
And that's what I
So
thought in general with your like drafts and everything is like you guys always have prio. Like if you draw like at any point like a diagonal line across the map, I feel like you guys always have them pushed up. And like when we look at the gold too, like obviously if you're killing the minions first, that you're gonna have a slight gold lead. So like you have a 300 gold lead, but you guys don't actually have a 300 gold lead because it's just they have killed less minions in the same wave. But it's like that always happens. Like you guys have this like 500 or 600 gold lead until the waves crash, and you're always having the minions killed first, always having prio like in every lane, so you actually have the ability to make plays. And I think it works with your draft too. Like Lissandra usually is going to be able to beat these like melee champions. You played Orianna into Camille the next game. That's also going to be pretty easy to get prio in early because you have the range advantage. So
Yeah, and I do think like um what was I gonna say? So Lemon basically does whatever he wants, and
yeah,
he's just so
you're just
good.
gonna outplay people. Yeah, like he just gets a solo kill on Orin even though Fiora is pathing to him. And like normally, yeah, you're gonna play like more passive when
He
you're
just
getting.
makes it so difficult. Like he's
Yeah,
100% dead, but he force out
well
some
that's 100%.
abilities.
That's worth, yeah, every time. And that's something he does. Like again, normally, yeah, I think like the very basic concept of competitive is like having the weak side and the strong side. And it seems like usually you guys aren't actually playing around Lamont, but then he just happens to be winning anyway. So then you just have winning bot that's getting jungle resources, and then you just have Lamont winning like every lane matchup anyways. So it's kind of OP.
Yeah, it also depends on the draft.
Yeah,
For usually when he's on Renekton or like any strong side, we like to go to his lane.
yeah,
Gume is always very, very, very stable. Like
yeah.
he's almost never losing. Even if he's getting pushed, he's never down gold. And
Hmm.
Lemont, you can also leave him and he'll be fine. He can like it's hard to outplay him, even like 1v2 dive. Like there's almost never a scenario where he's getting the on their tower.
Yeah,
But I'm I make sure I'm always there to help either side, and that's kind of just my goal as a player for the team.
yeah. It
Like I
seems
have
like you're
two
never the
really
one being
strong.
played around. You're kind of like you just go to
Yeah,
whichever side
I'm
ends
kind
up
of just
winning.
following
Yeah,
around, and I'm always playing the one engage because usually it's the support supposed to play engage, but we don't play engage.
yeah.
So I'm filling that role for my team.
And it looks like jungle kind of does too with like a Hecarim, for example.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. Like I don't have to carry. I can play like Akali, Vladimir, play
Hmm.
for these late game, but
It just doesn't really
I'm
for your
not
team
really
specifically. Yeah.
impactful early game, especially when my team doesn't talk like, "Oh, let's just kite, guys."
Yeah, and
Like
it's kind of the
I really
same.
like setting up my team.
Like in this play too. Like you are able to rotate because you're playing a champion. Like if you and Gwen both rotate, you're way more valuable than Gwen here because Lysandra just can do way more. Even
Yeah,
though,
like what is Gwen gonna do to
yeah,
really?
she's just kind of useless here. And you also obviously have that winning lane matchup. You have the prio. So then at this point, it looks pretty straightforward. And you also just have Lamont 1v2ing on top side, and he gets Fiora 1 HP and like doesn't die. And then even though you guys trade 2 for 2 here, Nunu gets both the kills, and you're crashing the wave, so you're denying the gold to Ezreal because he's dead. So like even in this
Yeah,
type of play, it still
this
seems
is
to
just
work out.
winning. It's
Yeah,
overall winning.
exactly. And that just seems to be like the really constant thing. You guys have lanes pushed, mid and jungle look for rotation. You're always wanting to have prio whenever your team's looking for a play. And then
You,
because you
you
guys also just have good laners, you just win
yeah,
lanes.
you cannot do these with champs like Gwen, like you
Yeah,
said. If I played any other champ, maybe Akali I can get a kill, but it's really hard. Like I'm just
yeah.
there to kind of set up my team.
What other kind of champions are it? Because you win Orianna, which is very different the next game. So like, what are the types of champs you're looking for to fill that kind of role, like
I
Lissandra
really
and whatnot?
like Ari,
Mm,
Lissandra. Those are I would say my prio pick for
yeah,
comp because I can just pull the trigger and my team as long as they have hands, someone will always follow up
yeah,
and they always have hands. So it's really good for me. Like I think Lissandra and solo queue is not that good because
yeah.
you're just playing like alone. But if you have a team, oh, someone's standing still for 3 seconds straight. If you don't hit them, you just don't have hands.
Makes sense.
But on a team environment, it's really easy to play it.
And then this is the next kind of thing that's most interesting to me is like how you guys prepare for objectives in advance. Like again, you're probably not communicating because you guys are mostly silent, but like Lamont is proxying here, and he does this like very often where he literally is just trading there. He's able to proxy, and then he goes mid first and stops their recall so that they have to reset later. Then he goes top, and this is like a very common thing because he did it with Apex,
The
I think, in another game
these are
too.
small things he does that's
Yeah,
very annoying, but you don't understand it until you play against it.
yeah, exactly. Are you
That's how I
guys
feel
thinking
about
about
it.
that actively? Like you want them to be resetting later than you? Or is that just kind of again a thing he just does
No,
mostly?
it kind of just happens at this point in the game where we're okay with either 5v5ing them. So our level 5 is really strong. We're
Yeah.
actually okay with 5v5ing, or most of the time we do try to contest both objective depending on how far we are.
Because yeah, that's
and
something that we also see in the next game, which is that was kind of something I want to ask about. But
we do try to do both. It's kind of greedy, but it's kind of like
well, your
it's just
comp kind
something
of
that
wants
we'd
to
like to
snowball, so
do.
like being able to do that rather than letting the game go a lot longer, I think also makes sense. But you also seem to value Herald more than Dragon. Is that what you guys are looking for? Or is it really more just like which fight looks better more than it's which objective?
It's whichever Valhalla choose to pack to. I think here he went to Herald because maybe his blue camp is up.
Yeah. Okay.
And then here, Ornn, if Ornn is just bought for however long years, this top
Mhm.
tower is free, and I think someone is able to defend the spot if we need to.
So, yeah, so what ends up happening is, and that's another thing I was curious about, like Lucian Nami to me, in the way I remember it being described by like a Fnatic or like a pro team, obviously, in League of Legends in the past, is they're really trying to play around like mid-wave picks, and that's kind of how you guys seem to be playing Lucian Nami. Like every mid-wave, you're able to get a bunch of control. Like here, you guys are 1v3 onto Ezreal, and Ezreal gets 1 HP and like is basically nearly dead. Meanwhile, Nunu's on Dragon, and Ornn is just hitting bot turret, which does nothing. And you force out his TP, which is why he doesn't end up getting anything out of it. Is it like conscious that you guys are looking to really contest mid waves around objectives, like with this comp, or is that just again something that kind of happens naturally?
It just happens because we're not gonna send like 5 people to a side lane. We
Yeah,
always want to get mid and then that side lane that we're doing the objective at.
and then you're fine
It's
with giving up the other side lane, kind of.
Yes, that's completely normal. Like if you don't get both objective, it's fine, but you trade and then you play for the side you took the
Yeah, so then you can at least trade evenly,
objective
and
on.
then if you just you forced out TP from Ornn, whereas you get to stay topside as Lissandra, so then you nearly get that turret, and since Ornn did a TP, gets like nothing. And then he's late there, so now Renekton's able to get it since you got the kill in mid, so it kind of leads to you guys getting that anyways.
Another thing you'll notice as well is when me, Renekton, and I guess Gume, like anytime we lane swap, we don't even talk about where we're going. It's just whichever is better for the
Matchup?
game.
Hmm.
Not even the matchup, I would say.
Just the game overall. What do you mean
Just the
by that,
games.
like then? Like the
So
game?
if you pause the game right now,
Yeah.
um, if I end up recalling,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then Ledmont's recalling, I would actually go bot because this bot wave will crash first, and then he will just go top, and then it's the same for every single wave,
Why is it
almost
important that
every
the
single
bot
time.
wave crashing first means that you want Lamont to go top?
Because it depends. It's more like if Ledmont recalls and let's say the bot like and then they end up the enemy top laner ends up staying or mid or
Yeah.
the Gwen, he will just push the wave and we don't want to miss any CS, literally
Hmm.
zero.
So you're
So I will
trying to just
get
maximize
there
gold,
first.
basically.
Yeah, we will get there first, catch every single wave. He will go top, and then I will try to push this next wave that's gonna come, and then walk mid, walk top, and then that kind of rotation is what we would do over and over.
So
And
it's
then it'll
basically a
be set
cycle
up
where you're
that way.
never missing out on gold and you're like
We're,
covering when someone
yeah,
needs
we're
to
not
reset.
we're not gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go top, even though he recalled late and he's gonna miss some
Yeah.
CS. Like it's never that situation. If you ever recall and you're missing some gold because the enemy top or laner pushed it, you recalled wrong, kind of.
Gotcha. So you're basically just like in the mid game, from what I can tell, your goal is to get every single minion possible, so you're never losing out on any of that gold. And then you're playing for like the outer turrets as much as you can, just getting the standing gold. It's not necessarily kills, because you guys are up 2k gold. You have one, more kill,
one
and you have no
one kill.
turrets. So
But yeah, it's not like we're doing the thing purely based on that as well. But
yeah,
sometimes the matchup is good, sometimes not. But most of the time, it's just like that. Like catch every single wave,
yeah,
get every single farm. You'd see like a lot of us will always try to sneak in a camp,
that makes
Grump,
sense.
Krugs, Raptors, anything. Then
Gotcha.
their jungle will slowly bleed. It's,
Mm. And it also seems like because you're catching the waves first, you get to push it, then you have the ability to rotate.
yeah,
You
so
know?
usually around this time, like people were like, "Oh, after bot tower, let's play for top tower because
Yeah,
it's 1 HP."
exactly. And yeah,
But our
like
bot tower is really good, so why shouldn't we just play for tier 2 bot?
yeah, and you had top pushed here, which meant you got to go before Ornn as well, and then that's why this play is able to happen. Like you're able to make the setup with Lissandra too. So
Now Gwen is here, we called it out as well, and now the
Mhm.
bot wave is pushing.
so then
And
you get to move into bot right from it. You literally went from top to mid to bot, and you make something happen in all of those plays. Like pretty crazy.
yeah, so this is good. I think I died here, but it's fine. But it's just the
I remember
play.
you drew turret aggro and you didn't realize it.
I did. I
So
was so
you walked back.
confused in
You
here. I had
ignited?
ults as well.
I don't know. Maybe you
No,
ignited
no,
or
I
something.
had here I died and I
Yeah.
saw ult.
But the play again is like not even that negative. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have the wave pushed so far. You're not gonna lose out that much.
So
even though a
here,
couple people die.
even despite all this, let's say
Yeah.
two of us died, we got one for it. They're missing mid wave, you know? Like
Yeah,
we're never
it's dying
losing
to them.
too much. Even if we all die, worst case scenario, we don't lose anything. We lose
Yeah.
like maybe our jungle bot side because it's all up.
So you want to make
But
plays when you have waves crashing elsewhere, so that the enemy at least lose out on something.
yeah,
Basically.
the reason junglers always clears jungle before ganking or
Yeah.
over ganking, in my opinion, is clearing jungle is guaranteed. If you died while ganking, they can take your jungle and then all of a sudden you're down 10k gold.
Yeah.
But if you farmed everything and then you die, oh, I just died. I guess I'm down 300 gold because this guy got a kill.
Yeah, and that's kind of what
So
happens is like every time that like Nick's team, the other team makes a mistake, it's like game losing. Anytime you guys make a mistake, you're just like, oh well, it kind of sucks. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose your clear time as well. Like it's just a small thing, I guess.
Yeah, because then they're
but
gonna respawn
you-
quicker if you clear them. So then,
Yeah.
And also here, like this is to me, this was kind of like the biggest mistake I saw from Jackie's team is they chase super hard here for a turn. I don't even think Lamont's mad about dying here, which you're gonna see in a second. Like he's just basically trying to bait them so you guys can come back. They don't even take the turret here in the end, even though there's a gold bounty and like you said, it's the guaranteed gold. Is like that's also a turret, is a similar thing.
I actually thought this was gone. I thought Levon staying here was insane to me.
But I think
Because
like, yeah,
you saw me go top here, but then my whole team was coming.
yeah, and so you kind of realize.
But I wanted to defend this. Like I'm not gonna get going.
But even then, your
That's
team is
okay.
still able to get back one kill, and the enemy don't get turret. So like they didn't get anything out of it, and you're not bleeding the gold the same way. Like you're actually able to even get some of these minions back too. Whereas, like you said, if you're making a play, you die, but at least some of the like wave crashes, it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, that's just Levon.
Yeah.
I would never stay for that. But thinking to bait himself for 4 of them
Yeah.
and that they can come on time is crazy to me.
Yeah, and that seems to be something he understands really well. I think that's kind of the concept of like tempo is sort of like the terminology people use for it. Is like it's not really their turn to make the play anymore because like going back, like your team is all at this point. You guys all have to recall your low health, whatever.
Yeah,
but
they literally chase us from their tier 2 to the bot tower.
Yeah, but then they just overstay a bit, and again, they don't take the turret. Like I feel like again, they chase one kill that's 300 gold. They get a turret with a gold bounty that's over 1,000. Like that's way more valuable. But the overextension for this long then gives you guys complete control of the map again, and then you also they're gonna miss out on more minions because they're dead. So then they can't farm their camps. You get to like invade blue side after you get to push all the waves out and everything. So
I do think some teams are not very disciplined, and I think it's because of lack of maybe experience.
yeah.
Like right there, you definitely just pay for the tower
Mm-hmm.
and just leave and be like, okay, guys, that's it, we're gone.
And I think they're a very
Maybe-
fight-focused team, like this team specifically.
Yeah, and maybe they didn't see like they didn't think they could come fast enough because the timers were there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, like I get you guys don't have insane kill leads in these games, and you have like a 6,000 gold lead, 2 turret lead, nearly 3 at this point when that one dies. Like it's just kind of insane to me how much how many leads you guys are able to get with basically no kills, and then you come to any fight and you're just way too strong. So I don't know.
I remember I was typing in your stream about it. That
Yeah.
is just the concept for this team. I remember I talked to their coach. They said we value setup, team fight setup, we value objective setup, we value map pressure, whatever. And I straight up told him the only thing I care about is gold, to be honest.
Yeah.
If we have good gold, then how are you gonna fight even with so much map pressure? But
And then-
he just laughed it off. But that's the concept that I would say me, Lamont Gume, value, because we were all coached by the same guy that thought the same thing.
Who was the person who coached you on that?
It was Immortals coach Pew, and he basically just said, if you take one camp from the enemy jungler, you're up 300 gold because
Yeah.
you're getting 150 gold, you're denying 150
That's
gold.
something I tell a lot of people when I'm coaching them. That's
That's
funny.
300 gold for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
So you do the same thing, and then all of a sudden you have so much gold.
And then something
Because it's
also,
not just one
go ahead.
camp. Like denying gold
Yeah.
is just as good as getting gold.
Yeah, like the same way if you're mid and the enemy rotates, you crash the wave on them, you get the 200 gold from the wave, and they lose 200, you get a 400 gold play. So even if they get a kill, you're still up 100 gold basically. Like that same
Yeah.
kind of concept. But something I'm curious about as well is like, you talked a lot about your goal being to get a gold lead. And usually when I'm coaching people, I'm like, the first 11 minutes of the game, or really 10, 30, because obviously you kind of prepare for Baron, that's your goal, is to get gold. But I feel like in some ways your goal now shifts to team fight setup now that you've gotten that gold because the Baron's spawning here. Like, is that something you're consciously thinking about? You know, actually preparing more for fights?
When we're this far ahead, I just
Yeah.
think about what is the best way for us to fight as a team.
Yeah.
Like I know my team will do their job. So as a Lissandra and the engage for my team, how can I get a good setup for my team? Just
Mhm.
so I can do. I'm never gonna kill any of them 100-0. But
Yeah.
can I get like at least like 30-40% of their HP? That's good enough for me. So I'm
Gotcha.
thinking about like maybe I can get 2 to 3 people, 4-man ult, like just stuff like that. And then even if I die for it, my team will do their job for me.
And from their perspective, I'm also curious. Do you think that it would have been better for them since they got the pick because Fiora solo kills Renekton here, like on top side? Do you think it'd be better for them to just play hard for top side instead of contesting mid wave here? Because what ends up happening is you guys go on mid wave and you find that fight since the Nunu's kind of more here, but then there's 3 people on mid wave, you guys get the kill. Like, do you think they should just value that standing gold on top, or do you think it's fine for them to be on mid wave like this?
I'm not sure. Let me see what happened in mid from my POV here. Like, how did they end up fighting in mid?
Do you want me to back up a little?
No, I have my own thing open as
Oh,
well.
okay. Gotcha. Do you want me to pause for now?
No, okay. So Gume literally just dashed into Ezreal there. That's why what happened.
Yeah. But for me, like
And I
the setup is even what causes that. Like their support's not here, you know, they're having like 2 people push top, but then so you guys are down a member, and
this
you're
is
putting resources
actually
into Dragon, and yet it's 3v4 for you guys on mid wave, you know?
yeah. This is not a bad thinking from Nunu because initially I was actually gonna go top and try to defend this. But since Lucian is so fed, he can kind of just do whatever he wants, like
Yeah.
dashing into Ezreal's face and
Well, that's what
doing
I'm
whatever
thinking
he
is I
wants.
like what Nunu's doing, but I would think they could put more resources in the top. You know, like do they need 3 people on a mid wave? They might, you know, again, that's why I'm curious on your opinion on that. Because Lucian can
I
just
do
kind of fuck
think
them on
you
mid
just
wave, I don't
have
know.
to sack it up.
Yeah.
Like I think they need to send 3 people. Ezreal catches tower under tier 2,
Yeah.
and then the 3 people top needs to play to back the Baron.
Makes sense. And at this point, it's again probably relatively straightforward for you guys. You know, you have a big lead. You can pretty much go wherever you want. What is your goal when you get to first Baron? Like to me, it looks like your goal is really just break tier 2s at least. Is that what you're thinking, or?
We try to break all tier 2s. Like
Yeah.
even if we don't get an inhib, it's okay. We're not in a rush. Baron is really slow as well.
Yeah, the first Baron's
Or
lasting
yeah,
shorter
it
as well.
ends really short.
Yeah.
So here, most of the time, if we cannot end the game,
Mhm.
we try to get top mid and bot tier 2 and get all jungle timers. And then your next play after Baron is to go to those jungle and set up ahead.
Okay, so when
That's
you're
your only
ahead,
goal.
you're using the fact that you got Baron to take whatever camps are up, so you have the timers on them, and then you
Yeah,
can
we don't
invade it.
have to take the camp soon.
You
We
just
just
if you
have
just
to
see
be there.
it, then you're
Yeah, we just have to see it.
Gotcha. And then yeah, they end up kind of overextending bot here. So like you guys, and typically I'm assuming you're setting up 1-3-1, you know, most of the time, and then jungle can kind of match wherever is needed. And so even though you guys
Yeah,
get here, you get mid and top, and it's definitely worth.
it's okay. They're always doing something. Even if they're like working really hard, committing a lot of resource, but it's like too much resource.
Yeah. And you almost made it out alive. Like the auto tag like barely hits you when you E as well. So, and then you guys are able to get inhibs because they extend so much. Whereas I feel like if they didn't contest you, maybe you'd only get all the tier 2s.
But then here again, like
Yeah.
he's like all the jungles are gone again. Like 10k gold lead, 13 minutes.
Yeah, and the game pretty much ends here. So again, it looks like you guys reset, and then since you just took their red side, you don't really have stuff to invade now because their blue side, you got the timer, but you know they're going to be taking it. So what are you thinking at this point when they don't have jungle camps up, but you're kind of just waiting until the next objective? Like, what's the goal?
At this point of the game, we do try to want to get all inhibs. So I try to ping my team or tell them maybe we should come bot.
Yeah, since that's kind of
I
the
thought
last,
I thought this Gwen recalled. I think she was just running. Wow.
Oh, you thought she'd recalled at the time?
Yeah, I thought she did recall, but we just want to try to break this tier 2. I think their team knows that too, so they're all around here, but there's nothing to be done for them.
And you just find a fight, and then I think you just win off this. It's
They
pretty
just win it because they're so fed.
Yeah. Do you have any
but
overall
their
thoughts
next
on this game, by the way? Sorry, go ahead. You were gonna say something else.
their next play is just for bot. Everyone's play is like, oh, just get that bot tower, defend that bot tower.
Yeah, and then you kill them. So you can
Thoughts on this game? I think we came in prepared with a draft and our win con. Like we really wanted Lucian Ami.
Mm-hmm.
And we just try to play for this, and we also really wanted to abuse the fact that I do think our bot lane's way better than theirs,
Yeah.
and we can just play off that.
Are you cool with doing one more game, or you
Yeah,
wanting
we
to?
can do one more.
Okay.
I think
I'm
the
gonna.
second game was a lot
Yeah,
closer.
that one was the one where I was hyped because I want you guys to lose, just because I want someone else to win, because you guys always win. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, they're actually winning, and then they kind of threw
We,
it
we
that Baron
actually
player.
won early game on a comp that we're not supposed
Yeah,
to
you were
win
up
early game.
3.5k early game, and that's I'm
Just
really
because
interested
the
in the
Nidalee
dragon.
kind of inted,
Yeah.
but I'm the big ult I missed in mid was a big turning point.
Yeah, but there was also the team fighter, but we can get into all that because obviously the viewers didn't see the game. So do you want to talk at all about draft again here, or?
Draft, same thing. I thought they're gonna ban the same thing. We're gonna ban the same two champs.
So yeah, the bans are
and
kind of
then
the same.
and then it depends on what they really want. There's Nocturne, Nidalee, and Camille. So Nocturne is still open. So they really value this champ. So I thought okay, maybe we can go Ori Nocturne. That's what I told them.
Oh.
But do we want something else right now? So that's what I always want, because they're not gonna put Nidalee mid. You're not Star Maker, Snowmaker.
Oh yeah, that
So
guy.
it's gonna be so we're like, okay, let's get Bard. But they actually don't play Bard. The mistake here is I think we should have picked another champ.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, I duo queued with Nick trying to learn Bard, and it was not.
Yeah,
pretty.
I don't think we should have picked Bard. I actually remember what we should have done, but I remember on top of my head. So this type of comp, like I told you, when they pick Nidalee, they're gonna go Camille mid.
Yeah, and
I said
they
this
have
in
the
the first
Galio
game.
later to.
So the Galio, they're gonna pick it now too.
That's what I'm
This
curious
comp
about. Sorry, go ahead.
This comp is screaming. If you pick Nocturne, this Nocturne will just die instantly. So
Mhm.
I told Valhalla, if you pick Nocturne, like we can do the Ori Nocturne combo, but we don't have to do it because you're gonna die instantly
Yeah.
versus that comp.
Gonna
They're
be
gonna
pretty
lock
hard.
you down when you go in. So I was like, just pick something that's comfortable. So not comfortable, but something that's like
Yeah, can't
not
get fucked by that
suicidal.
basically.
Like
Yeah.
Nocturne is suicidal versus that comp. You cannot play it. So
And the
like,
Xin Zhao
he
makes
went with
sense.
the
You can
Xin
kind of
Zhao
just
here.
ult to protect yourself. Like even if they dive onto you, no other person can deal damage to you unless they get on top of you. And I also think Bard's really good at stopping the Camille Galio because you can Bard ult anytime that they go on your teammates basically. So.
Yeah.
Kalista,
And
I
then
know Jackie
here,
plays a lot of Kalista.
I think standard draft at this point, whoever is playing, whoever's champs we're missing, I just usually ask them, yo, what do you want to ban? What do you want to ban?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe this champ is annoying. We all give our input, and then I think we should ban that, and then everyone just collectively kind of agree.
Yeah, so it's more just about whatever champs haven't been picked yet, like whatever roles you're just thinking what they can pick based on their current comp. It's more like it seems like you plan out the start and then you kind of just like freestyle, once you get later, because obviously you can't predict exactly what
You
they're gonna
cannot
do.
predict everything exactly. Yeah. That's why versus this team, we always had draft or first side pick. So we always knew we wanted the A side, and then I kind of just prepared intensively on game one, the first game's draft, because after that we can kind of just go off.
Yeah.
The picks, like I don't know what champs are gonna be, or what champs are going to be picked. So I don't know how to draft for game two, for example.
That makes sense. And then also, I'm curious about your thoughts on, like, their draft is very easy to play. Like Camille Galio, they pick Rumble later. It's just like you just click all your ults on someone and they die. Like, do you think it's important to have those easier to play comps, or do you not really value that at all?
I don't know. I think it's easier to play. I really think it's easier to play just something you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter how good the comp is.
So you don't value comp as much as comfort.
Yeah, because look at our comp. I feel like we have 2 late game scaling. It's kind of generally not good.
Yeah, I generally thought their comp, apart from the fact that Bard feels kind of good into Camille Galio, their comp looks pretty easy to play into yours. And also, like, Camille can lock down either of your carries at any point, and a lot of your damage kind of goes away. But if you're just comfortable and you're just outplaying the fights, it just doesn't really matter, I suppose. And you win the early game super hard because you guys are comfortable on the champs, and that's going to definitely make the lane phase easier.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have too hard winning games besides my jungler.
Okay, then that'll make sense. Any final thoughts on the draft, or just that? I feel like you gave most of your thoughts on
I
it,
I
but
do think we made a mistake on the 1-2, but it's fine.
what do you think should have been done differently?
I really forgot, but I don't
Yeah,
think we pick Ori Zinza. I
you
think
think
it's
you picked
something
Ori Bard one
else.
too, right?
Oh yeah, or Ori Bard. I thought it was supposed to be something else.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I had to
forgot.
pause here
We can
because
just go.
yeah, I also thought it was really weird that Nidalee skipped her Krugs here. Like she
But I don't know
control.
how Valhalla knows this, but he knows he skipped the cap. I think maybe yeah, I don't remember. I just know that Valhalla knew he skipped the camp.
Well, that's what I'm curious about because obviously warding is going to be how you're going to know where people are. Do you guys have typical wards you're trying to get off in the early game so you can, spot jungle or anything like that?
No, if we do some invades, Lemon always does his ward. But if we do some invades, I do try to do a defensive ward. I put that ward there in the middle,
Yeah,
in the pixel
right,
bush
right here,
to
yeah.
see if Nidalee will invade my Zinza, and I
Mm.
can play 2 lane push instantly. But he didn't. But
Yeah,
if it's just standard, we just do regular clear.
yeah, and I mean you have the one word up here, so you're gonna see when he walk. Oh wait, no, that's never mind, that's red. Yeah, that's yours. So yeah, you'll see if he walks to scuttle, which I think is probably the most important, is just knowing when he
I
can touch
think
scuttle.
yeah, I think he knows he skipped the Krugs because of the levels when he showed up blue.
Well, he
Because
shows up level 3.5, so he knows he did 4
yeah,
camps. But you could think that like he could have done red Krugs Raptors or Krugs red Raptors and then just went to blue and skipped wolves. So you don't know for sure if he skipped wolves or Krugs, but I guess he just infers that it's most likely that he skipped Krugs. I find that really weird because it puts you pretty far behind as a jungle when you're skipping an entire like one
it is.
camp on a
It
side.
is.
Whereas if he just skipped like a Gromp, it's like your Gromp is still there after when you're on your blue side. And then this is what we are talking about with the prio, like your winning lane. You even walk back to get fruit to make sure, right at 125 you're able to
You do not
contest.
want to push this. It's so free for Camille.
Hmm. But I can see you still have like the health lead and you're able to move. Like here, you just move just to help your teammate, just to make sure he can get
I
it.
just have to be missing. I don't actually
Yeah,
have to show up. Like the Camille, all Camille has to do is throw information. Oriana's missing,
yeah,
and the Nidalee will be scared.
exactly. Yeah, and that was really like the weird part early game. But yeah, you guys kind of just from there build up small leads here. I don't really remember exactly what it was that happens here, but again, we do see Lamont in like I think 20 seconds. He does another like kind of proxy. Oh yeah, you flashed this. I remember now. This is what happened. Yeah. So Nilly just kind
I
of
don't know
instant
what
you
he was doing there. Like
Yeah,
I guess we all make mistakes.
it seemed like Jungle had a pretty off game early. Like I was confused with the Krugs thing or skipping Krugs and contesting level 3 without prio, and then that play definitely just puts you guys pretty far ahead early. But
The play works. If it works, I think it's really well. But if it doesn't, I feel like it puts you off really behind in
yeah,
tempo.
I
Like
guess
you're
they
level
just kind of want
4
to
and
make those more risky
240 is
plays.
crazy.
Yeah. Do you feel like teams are trying to make more risky plays or do things they don't normally do against you guys because they know it's you? Because like I feel like I see teams just doing shit that they don't do against worse teams. That just kind of
I
is like a
actually
little.
heard that before. It's like whenever you see some of the players' names in our team, you just start shaking or something.
Yeah, I mean when I play against you guys in
I
fucking
don't
solo
know.
queue, I just know like even if I'm up 5k gold, like you're just gonna win somehow. Like it just happens. I don't know why, but you just have that feeling when you're against these types of players. Like, I don't know if you feel that as a player, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this team doesn't play as much nerves compared
yeah,
to the other team.
like Cosmic Souls team, you mean, or?
Yeah, Cosmic's team, I don't know why. I feel like they just play for fun whenever they play versus us.
Yeah, the
But
finals
when they played
were
versus them, they were playing really damn well.
yeah, the finals, the second game their draft against you guys was just like I don't know, that was something. But and then again, Aatrox here is literally just 1v2 going into their
So
jungle.
here, like I
His
thought
camp.
he's dead for sure.
And
I
then he
thought
gets
that
on a
Camille's
little wall,
missing.
like
But here is like how do you even like that's an opportunity created for us. I don't
yeah.
even know how, but it just happens.
And I feel like that's kind of how I view Baron Lane is like it's so isolated that you're trying to create value for your team in any of these random ways where Lamont's really good at like baiting out these plays or like the Renekton play that you said you wouldn't really have expected him to, do that. And I don't know, do you think about the roles as having like a specific role? Like Baron Lane is supposed to draw pressure, is supposed to do this thing or anything like that with any of the roles in competitive?
It I think it depends because I think a lot of these top laners are really strong, like 1 to 2 items,
Yeah.
and they're super annoying to just deal with. So they can create pressure. Like if we had like a Renekton and Aatrox flank during an objective,
Hmm.
like it's gonna be really annoying. And those are like small opportunities that you can take for a Baron laner. It depends too. If you're playing Ornn, you just gotta be in front of your team.
Yeah.
But as long as you're making proactive plays, making opportunities for your team, it doesn't really matter what role. Like you're doing a really good job.
And then this is also
Because
another thing. Sorry, did you have something else to say? If you want to continue.
yeah, like I think it's really hard to play jungle with 3 losing lane. What
Yeah.
do you go off of?
It seems really easy to
Basically
play jungle on
nothing.
your team with 3 winning lanes most
Because you
games.
can just go to this lane, maybe something will work. You
Yeah.
go this lane, something will work. It's just maybes, but
Well, because that's what I wanted to
yeah,
point out here is like your jungle's not bot side, and yet your bot side are still trading really hard. When like a pretty normal fundamental is like you don't trade as hard when you have less resources on your side of the map. But like you guys are winning lanes so hard, and the matchup looks so free that like now you have pressure here, but they're not gankable at all. And then top side at the same time, Valhalla flashes on top side, and you guys get a free
yeah. So
kill.
I agree with part of what you said, but
Yeah.
this is what I tell people when I coach them. If you're playing Kassadin versus Lucian, does that mean you just let Lucian push mid for free in mid and just soak up every? If he freezes on you, you just soak up everything up. No, you try to trade with him. You try to do something. You don't. You make them work for it. Basically,
So
nothing should
you
be
want to
given for
squeeze every
free.
small advantage out of even things
Yes,
that
every
look
single
losing.
small one. Just because oh, there's 3v2 bot lane. Play safe, guys. Okay, we're gonna play under tower. Clear under tower. You're basically handing them. Okay, we're gonna push this, and then we're gonna try to play a 3v2 full HP dive under tower.
So
No,
you
you want
think
to
like
make
you
it as
want to squeeze it out before because they're gonna
you
anyways inevitably dive you basically.
not anyways, but just make them work for it. And
Yeah.
because these are outcomes they cannot control.
Mm.
If you give them time to set up, it's a lot easier, I would say, for the enemy team. Be like, okay, I'm gonna tank first, then this will happen, then that will happen. Compared to, oh shit, all of it just happened, and it just happened.
You know, that's
You
something
you
I've
want to,
noticed when I'm playing against you. Like, I feel like you're like trying to fuck me in every lane, no matter like if I play against you in like solo queue, or obviously when I watch you play. Like when I play against some other players who are still good, like even some of your teammates, like it doesn't feel like they have that same mindset where it's trying to squeeze things even out of a losing scenario or in a losing matchup. Like it doesn't matter what matchup you're playing, you're going to be, outplaying most
you
people. Like so, I can
you just
definitely
have
see that.
to, yeah, make them work for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, maybe you just die, maybe you just misplayed, but you can't just hand them the free kill, free play. Make them work for it. Like if you're if my team is doing objective, for example, I'm playing let's just say I'm playing like Oriana. I can't do much early game.
Yeah.
First objective, right? And we're doing the other objective, and then I'm actually there contesting, but I can't do anything.
You're just trying to
But
fuck with
just the
them.
mere presence of me being there, like, oh, is his team here? Oh, this guy's annoying.
Mm.
Oh, like, stuff to think about. Oh, do they want to fight us? But my goal is, oh, I'm just here, guys, because I'm just trying to scare you. You can get to that objective for free, but it won't be like, it won't be that easy. Like you have to
Okay.
walk through some of my damage, some of this, some of that.
That's
It's
really
just
interesting. That's a very
it's just
different
a
way from
really
how I
annoying
view.
concept.
Yeah.
It's the same concept for supports when they don't do anything. They just stand in front of you. It's annoying, right? But they
Yeah.
don't actually do anything.
Gotcha.
But you just
That's
apply that
real.
to every concept or every champion in the game.
That is probably the most interesting thing that I've heard so far. Like, cause it is a lot. I can tell it again with how you play, and it's definitely makes it really fucking scary to play against you. Again, like that sort of feeling thing. I think that's also something like when we talked about how teams might play different about or against you. It's probably that type of stuff that causes them, or like Lamont, because you guys made that play last game, right, where you were 4v3, where Nick got a double kill, but so did you guys, and then Renekton was 1v2ing topside at the same time. So it's kind of the same sort of thing. Instead of just accepting I'm weak-sided, you're kind of trying to still outplay if you see the opportunity. And you're not saying like, oh, I'm half HP and I'm a weak early game champion, I'm gonna go fucking walk in and die. You're just saying I'm gonna make them think about it, or when I have the opportunity, I'm gonna try to outplay instead of just accepting the loss, like that type of thing.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially since Water is a fast game. I could be Oriana half HP. I'm just contesting. You'll be thinking to yourself, yo, why is Ori 50% HP
Yeah,
contesting me?
it wouldn't make sense
Like,
if you're
is someone
alone.
else
So
here?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I can just go on him, and then I'm like, okay, maybe he goes on me, maybe I flash out. Time wasted, I guess,
Yeah. So the time is
and
also
it works
important.
out for me.
And then
And
that
you know,
makes a lot of
sometimes
sense.
I
Yeah.
could just die, and it's completely fine. But
Yeah.
it's like we're at least I think at least I know my team is trying to do something,
Yeah.
even if you know
You're always going to get
someone runs
something out of
around.
it. If they waste the time to kill you, your team's going to get something out of it. You're never just going to, it's just 300 gold to enemy team and you guys get 0 gold. That's not how it's going to work. So that definitely makes a lot of sense. And then going into this, because now this is also similar kind of thing you're talking about. You want to contest both objectives oftentimes. And here, this is where I thought, I'd kind of seen the first thing I could really see I would call maybe a mistake from your team is you guys are half HP. Aatrox is still deciding to contest, and you guys want to contest Dragon, even though you're kind of split, and this is what ends up happening is Aatrox gets jumped on, and this kind of makes the fight bad for you. Do you think it was a mistake in terms of approaching the fight, or do you think you just approached it wrong and Aatrox like went too far forward getting caught out?
I instantly talked to my team after this game
Yeah.
because of this fight. I think this fight made the game very difficult.
Hmm.
Lemont did say his positioning was poor, but
Yeah.
even if Lemont dies, I already told Valhalla our only goal here should be the dragon. After we get dragon, I can just go back to mid wave. They get dragon, they cut up all the way to top side. Because when Valhalla dropped dragon, it was a 2.8 KHP to help
Yeah.
Lemont. But if we just get the dragon, we
You could have just got
sacrifice
it and
one
got
player.
out.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the mistake, and I told him about it.
And then
Like
even
that.
with this fight, you're still like Aatrox is coming at the, like use
Yeah, this
Hydra
is just
ults.
limit test, but it's kind of
But I think it's honestly
kind of
winnable
hard.
too, like because Corki gets caught by a W, and that's kind of what makes it bad. But like if that one thing doesn't happen, I think you guys might have even won this fight because Aatrox is still coming back. But then it ends up kind of being obviously not great for you guys.
Yeah, this one was really
So
bad.
how much do you value dragons though? Because you said it was important for you to get the dragon. Obviously, we all know like an individual dragon's not really a big deal. But is it because of the soul you're thinking about it? Is it just to get something, or why was it that you cared about the dragon? Just because you thought you could get in and get out for free?
I'm not sure where Valhalla path for objective, but we try to do whichever ones he wants to do first.
Yeah.
Oh, I think here maybe top tower was gone,
Yeah.
and bot tower was play. But I remember prior to that fight, me and Aatrox fought someone in mid 2v2. That's why I didn't have
Yeah,
ult,
you
and
didn't
they
have
were kind of
ults,
low.
yeah. So
So
it
I
made it
thought,
kind of harder
like
as well.
it was we can just do the dragon for free since we're all over the wall.
Gotcha. Okay.
Usually though, if they're all over the wall and you're at the objective at the spawn and your ADC is hitting it, you can just get it and leave.
Because it
Like
takes
it
them a
takes
while
a
to get
really
there.
long
Yeah.
time to get there.
Okay.
But
So
now
then
the
what are
game
your...
is difficult. But
Yeah,
look
go
at
ahead.
the gold still. I mean,
It's still
I think
fine,
it's
yeah.
from I think it's because of Lemont.
Yeah,
This
Lemont
tower.
definitely has a huge gold lead. So what are you guys kind of thinking at this point in the game? It's more even now. What is your overall goal at this point?
Right now we just try to stabilize the game. So here they're gonna play for tier 2, and here they might look mid, nothing happened. This bot tower is 100% gone though because they sent 4 people there.
But you're fine with
We
that
try
trade.
to get small picks.
And then again, he pushes top, so he gets to go into mid through top. And this is again, like I think like this was because this is probably I think this is where you missed the ult, and everything here is good. Like the setup is good. You
Yeah,
guys
it is
have,
good.
it just
It's
ends up
very
being
good.
like a mechanical mistake, and you just like you move on, and then oh well, type of thing.
It's fine. It's one of those Nocturne or first time ult. You don't know
Yeah,
how it works. I
exactly.
got the timing the rest of the game, but this one was very crucial.
Oh yeah, it wasn't actually here. It was maybe it was slightly later. But yeah, like same kind of thing. You guys, it seems you're just pushing out your side lanes and you look to make a play in mid. It doesn't seem like there's anything too complicated here, because you also don't have as great side laning this game. Or Lamont, he goes a lot of MR this game. Like he goes MR boots because he's laning obviously Rumble, and he goes Ma. But that means he really sucks at side laning Camille. And then obviously Ori doesn't really want to side lane. ADC's not really going to want to side lane that much, like actually side laning, past just getting the wave and leaving. So were you thinking about that at all? Like where you want to play a lot more around mid wave because of your comp, or?
In general, whenever I play AP mid, that's not a top laner.
Yeah.
Side laning is very, very difficult. Lissandra Ari is not that bad because they do have some setups.
Mobility too,
But
yeah.
mostly I like pushing the wave and then coming to the mid after.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of just a macro. Is just we push our waves and then we go into mid, see if we can make
Like
a play.
I actually don't want to push by myself
Yeah.
without my support will never hover me because it's an enchanter with an
Yeah.
ADC. So mostly I'm just catching wave and then rotating after to mid lane.
Yeah, and maybe if you have your jungle hovering, maybe something can ever. But usually, yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm Liss, maybe some setup could happen.
Yeah.
RE2, I could get away. I feel a little bit safer. Ori, there's no way you're gonna see me push under
And
that
then you
tower
just
and
come
auto
here.
attack him.
So Camille's also later, so you just have initial mid control. And so
Yeah,
even
like
though, yeah,
I'm
go
not gonna
ahead.
match the Camille, like
Yeah, of
pushing that
course.
wave. That's just
And then yeah, here
not
is
gonna happen.
our ult, and it
Very
happens, and
bad.
then it is what it is. But even here, it's not really bad. But then you guys keep going despite committing, like you've already lost 2 ults, and then Aatrox flashes in, and so even like one mistake from missed ult, and then it's just like more greed, and kind of leads to a very bad scenario here. Is that something you guys ever have problems with? Is like being over aggressive or being too greedy on plays, or is that more of just like kind of a one-time mistake that you saw here?
It's hard to say that because I feel like we don't really get punished
Yeah,
for the stuff that we do. So like on hindsight, I can just say, oh, everything just works out because it works out because
yeah.
we're us. But it's hard to say that because we actually just do not get punished,
Does
or
that make it
maybe
hard
we
to
don't.
improve? Like if you're
Yeah,
not getting
it's
punished?
really hard because
Yeah.
we're not getting like limit tested every single time. Sometimes we'll do like ridiculous plays and it just works because we have better hands or something.
Mhm. That's
But
kind of a problem that happens in like NA, like League of Legends. Like that's a very common thing they talk about. It's kind of funny to hear the same thing in Wild Rift.
yeah, like in that mid thing though, for example, you see Camille was pushing. We do have a small window to make a play, and then
Yeah.
if that small window doesn't happen, usually we'll just catch back because Camille's not gonna push by himself.
Yeah. So it seems
Stuff
that's
like
kind of your
that.
thing when you don't have the side lane pressure. Whenever Camille commits to side lane before she like gets straight on your turret, you just make a play mid
We
wave
yeah,
and then
we try to look for opportunities. It doesn't have to be mid. It just has to
wherever you can
be
make a play. Yeah.
wherever possible.
What about defending the Baron here? Because you commit a lot of resources and they're able to get mid and top here. Are you just kind of accepting I'm gonna lose a few turrets because they have Baron, so you commit to the fight, or whether it's the thought process here?
In here, I thought maybe more people would show up. I just threw out my ult, and then from here on out, I was just gonna catch waves.
Mm-hmm.
I instantly recalled after throwing my ult,
Yeah.
and they can do whatever we want. Losing towers is it's fine. Like it's Baron, so it's almost like you're expected to lose towers.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
Just get something out of it so they can't get too much, basically.
I actually think what Nick did was very good. I'm
Yeah, I thought
impressed that
so
he
too.
did what he did.
He's getting multiple free turrets there.
I thought he would maybe ult in that one. Don't get any towers.
Yeah, that does sound like a Nick play going into the fight, but I respect it. It was good gameplay from him there. And so they're able to get the gold lead, and at this point the game's actually feeling like pretty hard. How are you guys thinking about coming back? Are you making any type of plan? Because obviously the Baron play is what leads to this game being okay for you guys later.
Usually, whenever we make a mistake, we ping our gold lead in the scoreboard, and
Oh yeah.
then we just say, "Oh, we're not too far behind, guys. We'll be fine."
So you're just
That's
thinking you're just gonna be fine.
yeah, we'll just be fine. We just try to defend and wait for opportunities.
And I think the thing that confuses me the most about competitive is team fighting, like how you approach it. Is there any thought process where you're thinking there's a specific way you want to play a team fight like this, or like what do you think went wrong here, for example?
Um, I actually think Lemont went pretty deep, but maybe because he thought he would have follow up.
Yeah, because he has stasis here. Like that's kind of the start of the fight. He goes in really
Yeah, he
far,
he stalled a lot of
but then
time,
Camille
like a
goes on you
lot of
guys. So by the
resource.
time his stasis expires, he's just dead because Camille kind of wastes your guys'
Yeah,
time.
and we don't. I would say we don't have too much damage yet, and it's kind of messy.
Yeah. Are
But
there
you
any?
will never
Yeah, go
see
ahead.
Gume flash like that, by the way.
How did he
He
flash? I
he
wasn't paying
he
attention.
actually flashed there just to try to get a kill. But generally, you would never see him do these
Oh,
type of
really?
plays.
Yeah. And that's kind of a uncharacteristic mistake there. Uh, do you have advice in general for team fighting? Like when you're coordinated with teams, like is there any communication that goes on? I know you say you don't talk a lot, or is there just like anything you guys practice, anything like that? Or is it just
We
kind of,
don't.
yeah.
It depends. If I'm playing Lissandra Ari, I have some setup. Okay, guys, we can look here, and then you go on the person that's charmed. But everyone knows kind of their job. Like Gume just knows he has to be safe the entire time. He
Yeah.
has to be healthy. Worst comes to worst, everyone's died. He's the anchor of the team. He's still alive,
Mm.
and he can clean up, clear waves, whatever. And me and Valhalla, I actually try to work with him a lot on what we do together, but he's very, very aggressively good.
Hmm.
He kind of just pulls the trigger too, which I like.
It seems like you two are the ones making a lot of the plays, and the rest of your team is just like they're gonna be strong. They're gonna go and play the fights however they want to play it, and you guys kind of like actually make the decisions a lot of the time with
We
Engage.
just try to make plays based on what can be done at a time. I think Lemont is really good. The one thing I enjoy playing with Lemon the most, or why he's so fun to play with,
Yeah.
is he just makes the game easy for you somehow.
Yeah. I think it's that pressure thing too with like the top lane. You kind of
Like
always know he's gonna have
yeah,
some
like
level of
when
pressure.
I'm clearing jungle, he makes sure to sneak in an auto or two just to help me clear faster, so I
Mm.
can go up to his lane a little bit faster. Just small things like those like makes it easier to play.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand, but it just feels easy
Yeah.
here.
I can understand for sure what you're saying. And we can see it
Like
with,
people,
I think, those like proxy plays, for example, even that he makes
like
earlier, are some of
yeah,
the
people can say,
examples.
"Oh, you have Lemon." No shit, it feels easier. It's just
Yeah.
like just small things he does.
I think that's very interesting to see. And in top lane, yeah, it's kind of the role that's hard to find impact in. I mean, even like something like this is where the comeback happens. You guys are going to still be Baron, spoiler alert for anyone watching, but is this like anything you're actually thinking about? Like, oh, we want to bait them, and then we want to have Zen TP because they're going to see Zen contesting side wave and think it's okay? Like, or is it
I
just
actually think it's a mistake from Valhalla to
you
go
think he should have just been
from
on Baron side the whole time?
yeah, but I think his goal here was to go to Camille and take the thing ahead of time. I think they should have started Baron way before
Yeah, and they could have probably ended up getting you guys. But it ends
because
up being
they
kind of risky too. Like, I feel like if they just
I
kind of play the game normally, it might be okay. But I don't know.
yeah, I don't know why they decided to flip this. I mean, it's still not a flip, I guess, because we don't have Smite. But
But they don't know you don't have Smite, because your Zinjao did come, like, he did TP there. So it was kind of 50-50 at the end.
but it was only 50-50 because we Zinzao ulted though. Or not Zinzao,
Bard
Bard
ulted.
ulted the Baron.
But they should know that,
Yeah,
right? Like, they're good, you know. I feel like they should
yeah.
expect that. But I see what you mean. Like, they thought they can kind of sneak it quick enough, and it gets sort of messy there.
They definitely
Uh,
should have started it. I remember watching this in my own stream
yeah.
replay. I did see Zinzao for a small split second go to Camille. And
Okay.
as soon as they saw him walk there, they should have started it.
Yeah. So they just should have been quicker to pull the trigger, basically.
Yeah.
And that's
I,
interesting
I think
because I think it's very
I
different
think
how I
that's
think
just
about it compared to you. But go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
just the jungler thing. Like
Yeah.
I know Valhalla, he loves doing Baron like instantly the moment it spawns because
Yeah.
it's really really squishy. But those types of things, you can just burn Baron. People don't know how easy it is to burn Baron with an ADC.
Yeah, you definitely melt through it. But that's something that, and before I will go into the rest of the game, but like that's a kind of like the philosophy on the game thing that I have like a thought on that's kind of different from what you say is like when I'm thinking about looking from their perspective, like back on that situation, I feel like they still outscale you guys. All of the fights are going well. I don't see a need to take this kind of risky flip, even if it's like not a complete flip, because Bard still can ult it and Oriana can always, you know, potentially steal stuff. And like it seems like you're a lot more just like pull the trigger, just be quick about it, be decisive, and like you're just gonna outplay and you're gonna be confident in that. Is that like fair to say or
Yeah, I do think pulling the trigger and just doing it first is a lot better than just waiting for the enemy to do something and then you like if you're defending their play,
mm-hmm.
it's I feel like you're more reactive better than proactive. And
Yeah.
if you react, I'm not saying reactive is bad. I'm just saying being proactive is you have a lot more control on
And
what to do.
so then with that, like I think, and again, I'm more explaining my thought process to you because I think it's interesting to hear, not because I'm like trying to like argue, you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
for example, they have Camille, and we kind of talked about how Camille's way stronger on side lane right here because Aatrox has way too much MR. Like for this matchup, it's fine to build in the
Yeah.
game, but in terms of the matchup, it's really bad. And I feel like they can basically checkmate you. Like once Camille sees a second person, she has ult, she has E, she can still get out, and then you guaranteed jungle's not there. You can 4v3 instead of like what you know Camille does is like Camille's making this play aggressively on side lane instead of waiting until Xin Zhao actually goes, like Xin Zhao leaves now, and they can basically just bait again and be like, okay, you have to go to our Camille, or else our Camille's going to take your turret. And then say that Camille just takes the turret because Aatrox backs off, and Xin Zhao goes and goes to Baron, whatever. You
Yeah.
get a turret out of it, then you can do the same thing again a minute later with now a bigger gold lead because you got the turret, and you can just like keep doing this. Is
Yeah,
that?
you're right on you're actually right on that. I
Hmm.
do think Camille could have played this better.
Well, I think it'd be even more about the team playing around
But
Camille, like just not starting and just like baiting. Like they can hit it to like 5,000 and then make you come, like instead of
that's
finishing.
also true, but like I said, if it was my team as well, like we wouldn't be scared to pull this trigger on Baron a lot sooner or
Yeah.
almost instantly.
So you
It
guys would be
doesn't
more
have to be the
confident. So
jungler's call to start the Baron. It
mhm.
can be anyone. As soon as someone starts hitting it, just do it at
Okay,
that point.
I understand.
But
Yeah.
you're actually you're pretty right on that. I saw the Aatrox HP. Like they could have just waited as
Yeah.
well.
But I think it's one or the other. Like they kind of half-assed it. It's like either do what you're saying, commit to it fully immediately, or what I'm saying, play it a lot more
Yeah,
like methodically.
and
It's
the
one or the
thing as
other.
well is, mm, how do I say this? Because you are right. I think Valhalla could just be there and let Aatrox just lose the matchup,
Hmm.
and it just has to be that way. But I do think, oh, I remember now. They do want to get a lead again because now they're kind of just waiting and waiting,
Yeah.
and now Camille is winning, but then they're also doing Baron, and now it's actually a 4v4 at Baron,
Yeah.
and so Camille's win is like kind of neutralized.
Yeah,
It's a
because the Aatrox
1v1.
doesn't die, he just backs off, and even if you lost a turret, which you didn't, like oh well, we lose one turret. No one really cares. So that makes sense. Also, random other question is what's the reasoning behind Archangels instead of Ludens? Because I play a lot of Orianna, and it's not in competitive, it's different as well. But I also see you doing solo queue. What is it that you prefer about Archangels compared to Ludens?
I like Archangel's survivability
The
and
shield, yeah.
spam. Yeah, and I think Luden is only good. The thing, the way I build Ludens for a lot of the champions, other than Ari,
Yeah.
or actually I only build it on Ari. I don't even know
Mm.
if I build it on the rest, or maybe Zoe. Is Luden is very good on clearing waves, but Oriana is insanely good at already clearing
So you
waves.
don't
So
really
I
need
don't
to.
need that. And for maybe you could argue Luden's poke is better than Archangel. I don't really value it that way because I'm going Conquer. So I prefer sustained damage over team fights
Why
over
is it you
just.
go Conquer as well? Because I also think First Strike, like I prefer that. So I'm also curious about that and the runes in general. I don't know if you go the blue runes or if you go something different. Like, what are your rune
I
choices?
actually go full blue
Yeah.
Conquer bone
You
plating.
go blue
None
like the
of.
money printing runes, like the
Yeah,
yeah,
I go mana flow for my
mana
lane.
flow.
So my reason being for those runes, Sweet Tooth really good for your lane. Mana
Yeah.
flow really good for your lane. Bone plating really good for your lane.
So you're playing for
Conquer and
lane
a
more.
sustained long fight in lane is really strong.
And that definitely gives you more power to actually like win the lane. Again, like my goal in playing the lane is usually First Strike plus Sweet Tooth plus I have
You're just
CTR.
farming gold,
I
right? And
can
like Sweet
always
Tooth
hit
in
first
every
item
single
plus
lane.
boots, yeah. And I'm playing the scale in like 1v9, you know, a solo queue game, which I think is very different than how you're going to think about a competitive game. But even in solo queue, when I do that, even if I'm way better than the player, it's really rare I solo kill them. Like if I'm winning lane, it
Yeah,
just means I
I
crash a wave and I recall. It doesn't actually mean I
I
get a
I
lot out of it.
always try in rank. I don't care how my
You
matches.
just want to solo kill?
Even I'm playing Kassadin versus Lucian, like I said, I try to play for these limit test solo kill.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. In the end, if I go to a scrim game, I'm not gonna do it.
I think it also
So
makes your mechanics insane. Like when you do that so much, like I'm not putting myself in that situation, so I don't have to try to outplay. But if you have to do it so much, eventually you just become really clean, and you're like getting a lot of
it's
those out of
really
it.
boring as well. Like it's easy to play very clean. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play safe. I'm gonna farm. You can just do that, and maybe you'll win like 95% of your games with like 12 KDA in your stats.
Yeah.
But my KDA is like 4. I'm just
Mm.
limit testing every game,
And I mean, your
and
win rate is still obviously really
yeah,
insane. So
it's. I do think talent. If you go Conquer, you can try it yourself.
yeah,
With Cosmic Drive, you have like 60, 80 CDR with Transcendence, Seraph,
you go cosmic. Which item?
Cosmic Drive
Yeah.
second.
No,
But
no.
in
Like
this game, I
which?
went
Yeah. Order. Sorry.
second,
Second.
and then
Okay.
Death Cap third.
And you go
And
infinity
you
orb
just play
fourth
for the
usually, or
sustain. Yeah, Infinity Orb
mm.
usually fourth, and at that point you're basically full build.
Okay.
But you just play to spam, get solo kill. I've actually never won lane versus Aurora until I played Ori, and you win
Mm.
the matchup first boots by.
Interesting. I'll
Do
definitely
you
try
go
that out.
barrier as well or ghosts?
Me, I'm going something between cleanse, exhaust, and barrier. Like if it's I'm like laning assassin, I'll
I
go
see.
exhaust. If I'm
Yeah, if
going,
I'm playing against assassin, maybe exhaust, but
if it's like
barrier
Vi
is
jungle, I
generally
take cleanse,
safe.
obviously. But like, I never take ghost too. You take ghost, I see sometimes at least.
I do not take ghost. Ghost, I feel like ghost
Oh.
is a bait
Oh, I must have
on
seen it on
Ori.
your leaderboard then, because when you were rank 1, I definitely saw Ghost there, and I was like, why does he do that? And I was coaching someone, and they were specifically asking me why, because I was trying to explain to them why I thought you did what you did, because I'd never talked to you about it. Because I was telling them, like, I prefer my Ori runes for the reason I kind of talked about. And then and I think it's easier to play. And also, like, I'm coaching like a master player. I'm like, this is super easy. You know, you do what starting does. You have to like win lane hard. It's different. But
It's the same as
yeah,
oh, I think maybe if I played against Morgana mid, I feel like Barrier is not really that good
yeah.
because he's not gonna
So you
kill
take
me.
barrier most of the time for lane phase, is what you're saying, though.
Or lane phase,
Mm.
yes. Barrier, that's the only thing Barrier is good for, right?
Yeah, scaling, exhaust, or cleanse is going to be better, even ghost. So that makes sense. So you're very lane focused, and your champ scales insanely anyway. So you're still going to be OP late game, even if you're playing for lane phase in terms of runes and items and whatever. Well, runes and
Yeah.
summoner spells. Okay, that's an interesting aside. Yeah, we can go back into the game though. I was just curious about that, like more specifically because I play that champ a lot. So I liked hearing about like the way you play the game. Like it is very different from how I think about the game. It's much more like aggressive, trying to outplay people all the time, and I can see that like when I play against you. So it makes a lot of sense.
It's not a good playstyle, I guess, if you want to climb in rank and you're not confident in your
If
mechanics.
you don't have
Because I
like
do feel
hours and
like
hours to spend grinding
you
the
will
game,
just
yeah,
int.
it might
But I
be.
do tell the people that I coach, like don't be scared. Like if your goal is not to climb, just limit test every game.
Yeah,
Who cares if you lose like 2 points? But if you want to climb, play two champions, get really damn good at it, and
and play this
get
consistent
challenged
save
that way.
style kind of. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm definitely more. I mean, I'm a solo queue player. I've never played fucking
So
competitive,
every time I coach
recently.
someone, I ask them what their main goal is every single time.
Yeah,
Like, you
because
want to
the
climb
advice can
or do you
change.
want to get better?
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, definitely. And here, I mean, the game's pretty straightforward, right? You guys have Elder, or you guys are.
And here too, I saw this ahead of time. If I was Camille, it just comes from champ knowledge, game knowledge, and everything. If you're Camille, you're flanking that way. You see Ori's 1 HP. I'm gonna EW over the wall, flash ult, right?
Yeah.
And I just saw it ahead of time, and I pressed stasis before the W could hit,
Mhm.
or even it reaches me. So he just insta taps all those buttons because that's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
And he just went on the Bard. So it's pretty unlucky.
That was pretty funny, yeah. And yeah, that's also just the limit testing of solo queue. You outplay people more, and you know how to. I mean, since you play other roles too, you're not just only playing mid. Like you play Camille jungle. I've seen you play it plenty of times. Like you kind of just know what they're thinking already too. So. And then this fight, it looks like you guys are kind of scared to flip it, because
Yeah, for this one, for Valhalla, I thought we would just burst this dragon, but they actually wanted to go in. Even Gume went
that was
in there.
scary, low key. Like.
So I was a bit worried because I was tanking the entire thing.
Yeah, and
I told him
Zen
to
couldn't even smite it,
come
and
back.
Galio's Q was on it when it was 78. So
Oh,
that was
he
like.
didn't have smite. That's why he didn't want to flip it to
Oh,
begin
he
with.
didn't have smite
I
there.
remember.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so he
we
doesn't
see,
have
yeah,
smite
it's
right
not
now.
up. So he's just trying to fight. Oh, but since you guys don't communicate as much, this might not be something that you're all aware of. Or
He did say it, but
he
I thought,
did.
maybe we'll just burn it, just burst it down.
I respect it,
And body
and it
blocked
worked out.
Nidalee
So
Q.
yeah,
Yeah, so stuff like this, like it worked out. So I guess we're fine, right? But maybe against really good teams or players, it wouldn't work. I'm like, oh shit, why did we do this without smite, guys? And now the VOD review is very different.
so like with your team, it's a lot of we're gonna just pull the trigger and play really confidently, and since you don't get punished for it, why would you really change it, even if it might not be perfect?
Exactly. I don't think this draft is the most optimal way to play Wild Rift. I do
Mhm.
think playing top laners in mid is better.
Yeah.
But if it works, it works.
Well, I definitely do think like your guys' first draft seems like more of a like that draft seems really good to me compared
Yeah,
to this
that
one.
draft seems okay. There's a lot of synergy. This comp, there's like
Yeah, it's more just outplay them.
it's kind of whatever. Like Bard Ori is good, I guess, but it's like, yeah.
No, but I think that's a good general lesson for my viewers too, because I mean, part of the reason I want to make this video is just because I wanted to selfishly learn more about like how competitive works, but also like the things my viewers can take away, and I think a lot of it is like with your mindset of how you approach the game. Um, like the comfort, like valuing the comfort a lot more than just we play whatever's meta. Because I'll have like I get annoyed when I stream. I get asked what's the meta, what's the best champion like 40 fucking times, a stream.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like at all. You can play whatever you're good at, and like I played Jace for like a year and a half straight with like the same win rate in every single meta. It never mattered what meta it was. It's just I'm good at the champion, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah. I do tell them to play easier champs as well.
that's definitely good if you don't care about fun, right? If you're trying to have fun, then it could be
Yeah.
different. But yeah, for sure,
Like
playing
play
the easier
Vi, bro.
champs.
Vi is so broken.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Like,
I don't
why
learn
play
Lee Sin.
Vi?
Like I just play Vi. Like it's the same thing,
Yeah,
but I don't have to be good mechanically.
Same thing.
So makes sense. And then you guys end here. So I think that's probably we just can do those two games. I had a few like smaller questions, if you don't mind me asking at the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
before.
you can throw all of them out
Yeah,
again.
the first kind of thing is just like, what do you think makes you guys as a team better than the rest of NA? Like, I know that's a very broad question, and there's probably a million things, but are there any like specific things, or do you think it's literally just all of the small things that add up?
I do think compared to before, people understand the concepts a lot easier now. Like people playing through sides or whatever,
Like they're catching up to you a
farming.
bit?
Not 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 catching up. I do feel like they do know that already. Like they
Yeah,
already know those information, but what to do with those information is like I feel like it's something else. Me, Lemont, Gume played together for a really long time.
yeah,
We played under the same coach, same team, and we played during competitive. And we understand a lot of like because before back then, people were really coordinated with the fights. We have five people talking. Imagine Gume Lemont talking during a fight too,
yeah,
and you know every single team did that, and we just understand how to like for example in our team fights really annoying. We understand how to position, but even Valhalla he didn't play competitive, but I
yeah,
think he understands what his job is. I understand what my job is. Like you just have to know your role. You're not a 1v9 machine.
yeah.
Like maybe Lemont is a 1v9, but everyone has like jobs that they have to do. They have to fulfill support's job, you know, help Gume through the lane phase, make him strong, peel for him. Bala, okay, I'm gonna do this for my team. And as long as you understand what you're supposed to do, I feel like I feel like that's what makes a strong team. Just
So you just
play like a
understand your role
team.
within the team. With that, is it like, is your role within the team changing a lot based on comp, or you guys like you said, your goal a lot of time is to make the engage, to like be the playmaker with Valhalla. Do you guys usually have really defined roles, or is it pretty depending on the individual game a lot more?
For me, my role is almost pretty much defined. Like I I can play carry, right?
Yeah,
I can play Ezreal mid, Lucian, Jace, Akali, Vlad. I can play these carry mids, but why would I play those when it doesn't really fit with our goal? Like before, Gume used to play Ziggs. I used to play Jace,
yeah.
and you know, top is tank, and I used to be the carry. But now I'm kind of just leaning towards okay. I'm just gonna do make sure I have a good lane phase, solid lane phase, and I'm gonna try to help my team as much as possible. That's kind of just my goal. I'm not like oh don't worry guys, I'm gonna play I don't know, let's say I'm gonna play Jace, right? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so fed, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna carry the game. Now I just kind of like support the team, kind of
Hmm.
like more engaged because I do have to fill that role somehow since our support does not play
Engage. Yeah.
engaged champs. So yeah, like it's really difficult. And in this game I do feel like it's difficult as well since our only engaged I guess is Bartles and Xin Zhao.
And that's probably
So
what made this game a lot closer compared to like before. Um, okay, so that's definitely like that gives me a lot of insight in terms
and
of
all those
yeah.
little things, like I said, like Gume does it really well when you if you play against him in lane, it's so goddamn annoying. Leblanc, you play against him, it's so annoying. And eventually, like, oh, these guys are so annoying. Like, even if they don't say it, talent, I feel like in the back of their head, yo, this guy is playing so annoying, and maybe there's a little bit of head game there, but
You know, I
it
really get
it
pissed off
does it
playing
does
against you
trigger it.
because like when I play against you, you do that like mind game shit. Like when I only lane against you in solo queue because obviously I don't play
Like
competitive.
I really don't know, but I just think like they're
Yeah.
thinking about it,
No, I'm telling
like
you,
why
I'm
is he
actively
playing
thinking
like
about
this?
it and it's annoying me because I'm like, oh, I should have been able to outplay him because you play to solo kill everyone. You know what I mean? And you do that type of stuff. I mean, I know you don't do it in competitive the same way, but like, I'm just saying that mind game stuff, like I can feel it like when I'm playing against you and it's like
Yeah,
annoying.
but they're
Yeah.
not gonna say it out loud. You just
Yeah,
be like, why?
exactly.
Like it makes you play a certain way. I feel
Yeah.
like is this guy inting or is someone else is here? And then you end up
Yeah, you're
not
always
doing the play
scared
you
about a
wanted
play
to play.
happening. And that's the same thing you were talking about, like with baiting as Ori randomly at an objective when your team's on the other. Like it's kind of the same concept
Like, yeah, or
in
he doesn't
different
do
ways.
anything. Like
Yeah,
you're just
exactly.
standing there and
Okay.
just kind of free.
So then, just for the rest of your team, just out of curiosity, is from what I can understand, you're kind of playmaker a lot. Valhalla is sort of doing a similar job in some way. You guys are moving together. Lamont kind of just shits on everyone because that's Lamont. And then, Gume and Hestia are kind of just like playing lane, Gume is always really safe and always consistent, gonna deal damage no matter what, and Hestia is kind of just following up with that. Is that like a fair thing to say? Like a broad assessment of your team, or?
Yeah, I think yeah, Gume. I would say Gume is the anchor. Like if
Mm-hmm.
worst comes to worst, everyone loses every lane, he will be there to stabilize it. Like he
Okay,
will have even gold or decent gold, and
gotcha.
then Lamont is really good at making opportunities. I'm literally I feel like I'm just there to just help the team. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you could almost replace me with someone else, but it'll still work for them.
Mm.
And then Valhalla just does his own thing. But Valhalla is really good at seeing lanes. I feel like he does watch map really well
Yeah.
on like okay, maybe there's play here, maybe there's play there, maybe there's play here.
Yeah, and it makes and you guys
Um
are all good players, so you're gonna always, just make good plays even regardless. So
yeah,
okay,
but I
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. You can go ahead if you have more to say.
I just think when you have such good laners on your team like Gumen
Yeah,
Lamont, you for me like I don't need to have three hard carries.
yeah, yeah.
Someone it's okay to have a weak side. Just because I'm playing, not a 1v9 champion doesn't mean I'm useless. I'm doing my job on the team.
Yeah.
If you're playing like weak side Poppy and you're defending well 1v3, you have less gold on everyone else. You're doing your job. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
completely fine. You don't have to play, "Oh guys, I can't do anything this game. It's up to you to carry." And I'm okay with that because
Yeah.
I trust my teammates to do just that.
And I think it'd be easy when you're somewhat like you've been a fucking pro, you've been at like the icons and whatever. You could easily just say like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
just.
very, like I would say I'm very egotistical too when it comes
But you're
to
able to
like
drop that,
the
when you're playing competitive or
yeah,
whatever.
but I'm saying in like, oh, I want to carry, I want to kill
Yeah.
this, I want to 1v9, but I'm okay, dropping it if it's for my team and
Yeah.
they're gonna carry.
And you get to
At
win
the
more
end of the
money
day, all I
instead of
want is
losing.
to just win anyways.
Yeah. You just want
Like
to
I
win.
don't care how I have to play it.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I just have to sit under
that's
tower and
yeah.
farm. It's okay, guys. You'll carry me, right? That's how kind of how it goes.
Yeah. And I think the same thing too is you're gonna carry the same way you said, like Gume's an anchor, like you're still a 5 item Orianna here, even if you're and this game you have a bunch of value, but you're always gonna find that value. But I think that makes a lot of sense. I kinda have one more question before then we'll have you like shout out your stuff and whatever. Is just like what are the differences between comp and like solo queue slash duo? Because obviously most of my viewers are not playing competitive. They're kind of just curious to see, what pros look like. But like what is so different about comp versus solo queue for you?
I think in comp, people are a lot more synergized. Like a lot of the times in solo queue, if you get RE charmed, maybe you live, maybe you won't. But in competitive, if you get charmed, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. You're insta dead. You make a small play, you lose a lot of tempo. In competitive, you're down gold all of a sudden. Like you cannot make small mistakes and hope that someone else will will carry the burden for you for your mistakes.
So you get punished a lot harder
In
basically.
Yes, in solo queue, you can kind of just do whatever you want. You can be down 20k gold, you'll maybe win the game because no one is gonna play perfect in that
Yeah.
game. And even if they do, like there's always a chance to come back. Like that game versus Cosmic versus Jackie's
Oh
team.
yeah, they're down 11K.
Like just stuff like that. Like no one's perfect, like this team is obviously a really good team, but how do they lose like
Yeah,
that?
I gotta make a video on that game just to show that
Yeah,
game.
so
That one's funny.
those stuff, and in solo queue, I would just say people are like, oh, what's meta? What can I play? What's 1v9 to carry?
Yeah.
Just play what's fun, what you're good at. Get really good at it, bro.
Yeah. Definitely the comfort. I think that's one of the biggest things you've said is comfort over anything else really for climbing.
A lot of one tricks
Yeah.
climb playing one tricks. Like there's
I mean,
nothing
I
wrong with
climb
it.
like I've one tricked a bunch of different champions at different times, but whenever I climb a bunch, I'm spamming 2 or 3 champions.
I actually climbed playing 2 to 3 champions, and after that, I just started one tricking every single champ after I
Yeah.
got really good. So
Like you
that
one trick
was
one
my
champ at a
way.
time, and then once you're
Yeah,
good at it, you go to the next.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Like, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, do you have any, channel, YouTube, Twitch you want to shout out or just anything you want to say at all really?
I mean, on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/starting all over. And on YouTube, it's just youtube.com/@startingwildrift.
Do
And
you
I
actually
just
post on YouTube, by the way? Like I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
do.
Okay.
I'm starting to do one video every couple of days.
Okay.
I'm gonna, after you post or before you post this, I'm gonna post Lissandra POV from the first game.
Yeah,
And I do
I'll
think
link
you
your
have
stuff
I
obviously
have
in the description.
voice and that as well, so that would be fun.
Oh, you have your voice in there. Okay, cool. Then yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.